Hello friends, today we are going to discuss Unit 2, that is Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and its rules 1945. The Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 and rules 1945 have been passed to regulate the import, manufacture, distribution and sale of drugs and cosmetics. Next one is the Schedule G. List of substances required to be taken only under supervision of registered medical practitioner. These are the examples: aminoterine, bleomycin, chlorambucil, daunorubicin, mercaptopurine, amoxicillin citrate, acetolactone, thiotepa. These are the examples of Schedule G. Antihistaminic substances, the following their salts, their derivatives and salts of their derivatives: antazolin, meclozine, substances being tetra and substitute derivatives of ethylene diamine or propylene diamine. Next is the Schedule H. This schedule contains the list of the drugs to be sold by retail only in the prescription of a registered medical practitioner. These are the examples: abicavir, baclofen, carvedilol, then daclizumab, ganciclovir, then ketoprofen, lamivudine, omeprazole, pantoprazole, pyridine sulfate, rabeprazole, telmisartan, urokinase, valsartan. These all are the examples of Schedule H. Next is the Schedule M. Good manufacturing practices and requirements of factory premises, plant and equipment for the manufacture of drugs. First one is the Schedule M1. There are three in Schedule M. There are three types: Schedule M1, M2 and M3. For M1, the requirements of factory premises, plant and equipment for the manufacture of homeopathic drugs. Then next, Schedule M2, that is requirements of factory premises, plant and equipment for the manufacture of cosmetic. And third, Schedule M3, it is for the medical devices. Next one, the good manufacturing practices for premises and materials. First, the general requirements. In that, A, location and surroundings. The factory building for the manufacture of drugs shall be so situated and shall have such measures as to avoid the risk of contamination and contamination from external environment, including open sewage, drain, public lavatory, or any factory which produces disagreeable or obnoxious odor or fumes, excessive soot, dust, smoke, chemical or biological emissions. Then next, B, buildings and premises. The buildings used for the factory shall be designed, constructed, adapted and maintained to suit the manufacturing operations so as to permit production of drugs under hygienic conditions. They shall conform to the conditions laid down in the Factories Act 1948. Next is the premises used for the manufacturing, processing, warehousing, packaging, labeling and testing purposes shall be compatible with other drug manufacturing operations that may be carried out in the same or adjacent area or section. The next, adequately provided with working space to allow orderly and logical placement of the equipment, materials and movement of personnel so as to avoid the risk of the mix-ups between different categories of the drugs or the raw materials. Then B, avoid the possibilities of contamination and cross-contamination by providing suitable mechanism designed or constructed or maintained to prevent entry of insects, designed, constructed or maintained to prevent entries of insect, pests, birds, vermin and rodents. Interior surface, that is wall, floors and ceilings, shall be smooth and free from cracks and permit easy cleaning, painting and disinfection. Next is the air condition were prescribed for the operation and dosage form under production. These conditions shall be appropriate to the category of drugs and nature of the operation. Next, provided with the drainage system as specified for the various categories of products, which shall be of adequate size and so designed as to prevent backflow or to prevent insects and rodents entering the premises. Next, the walls and floors of the areas where manufacture of drugs is carried out shall be free from cracks, and open joints to avoid accumulation of dust. Next, C. Water system. This shall be validation system for the treatment. There shall be validated system for treatment of water drawn from own or any other source to render it potable in accordance with standards specified by the Bureau of Indian Standards or local municipality, as the case may be, so as to produce purified water conforming to pharmacopoeial specification. Means it should be according to the pharmacopoeial specification. Then purified water so produced shall only be used for all operations except washing and cleaning operations. For washing and cleaning, purified water is not used, where potable water can be used for the washing and cleaning operations. Water shall be stored in tanks which do not adversely affect quality of water and to ensure freedom from microbiological growth. The tank shall be cleaned periodically and records maintained by the licensee in this behalf. D. Disposal of waste. The disposal of sewage and effluents, that is solid, liquid and gas, from the manufactory shall be in conformity with the requirements of the Environment Pollution Control Board. It should be accordance with the Environment Pollution Control Board. Then all biological waste shall be destroyed as per the provisions of the Biomedical Waste Rules 1996. Additional precaution shall be taken. Then provision shall be made for the proper and safe storage of waste materials. Next, second one is the warehousing area. These are the specifications of warehousing area. That adequate area shall be designed to allow sufficient and orderly warehousing of various categories of materials and products like starting and packaging materials, intermediates, bulk and finished products, products in quarantine, release products, rejected products, return products or recalled machine and equipment spare parts and change items. Receiving and dispatch base shall protect materials and products from adverse weather conditions, where quarantine status is ensured by warehousing in separate earmarked areas in the same warehouse or store. These areas shall be clearly demarcated. Any system replacing the physical quarantine shall give equivalent assurance of segregation. Next, production area. The production area shall be designed to allow the production, preferably in uniflow and with logical sequence of operations, in order to avoid the risk of cross-contamination, separate, dedicated and self-contained facilities shall be made available for the production of sensitive pharmaceutical products like penicillin or biological preparation with live microorganisms. Separate dedicated facilities shall be provided for the manufacture of contamination causing and potent products such as beta-lactam, sex hormones, and cytotoxic substances. Working and in-process space. Working and in-process space shall be adequate to permit orderly and logical positioning of the equipment and materials and movement of personnel to avoid cross-contamination and to minimize the risk of omission or wrong application of any manufacturing and control measures. The next one is the ancillary areas. Rest and refreshment rooms shall be separate from other areas. These areas shall not lead directly to the manufacturing and storage area. Facilities for changing, storing the clothes and for washing and toilet purposes shall be easily accessible and adequate for the number of users. Toilets separate for males and females shall not be directly connected with the production or storage areas. It should not be connected with the production or storage area. There shall be written instructions. There shall be written instruction for cleaning and disinfections of such areas. Next, quality control area. Quality control laboratories shall be independent of the production areas. Separate areas shall be provided, each for physicochemical, then biological, microbiological or radioisotope analysis. Separate instrument room with adequate area shall be provided for sensitive and sophisticated instruments employed for the analysis. Quality control laboratories shall be designed appropriately for the operations to be carried out. The design of laboratory shall take into account the suitability of the construction, materials and ventilation. Quality control laboratory shall be divided into separate sections, that is for chemical, then microbiological and wherever required biological testing. These shall have adequate area for basic installation and for ancillary purposes. The microbiology section shall have arrangement. Microbiology section shall have arrangement such as airlocks and laminar airflow workstation wherever considered necessary. 6 is personnel. The manufacture shall be conducted under the direct supervision of the competent technical staff. Competent technical staff with prescribed qualification and practical experience in the relevant dosage form and or active pharmaceutical products. The head of the QC laboratory shall be independent of the manufacturing unit. The testing shall be conducted under the direct supervision of competent technical staff, who shall be full-time employees of the licensee. Then, personnel for quality assurance and quality control operations shall be suitably qualified and experienced. The next, 7th, health, clothing and sanitation of workers. The personnel handling beta-lactam antibiotics shall be tested for penicillin sensitivity before employment, and those handling sex hormones, cytotoxic substances and other potent drugs shall be periodically examined for adverse effect. All employees shall be instructed to report about their illness or abnormal health conditions to their immediate supervisor so that appropriate action can be taken. Direct contact shall be avoided between the unprotected hands of personnel and raw materials, intermediate or finished or unpacked products. Then next is 8, that is manufacturing operations and control. All manufacturing operations shall be carried out under the supervision of technical staff, which is approved by the licensing authority. Precautions against mix-up and cross-contaminations. The licensee shall prevent mix-up and cross-contamination of drug material and drug product by proper air handling system, pressure differential, segregation, status labeling and cleaning. Proper records and SOPs thereof shall be maintained. The licensee shall ensure processing of sensitive drugs like beta-lactam antibiotics, sex hormones, and cytotoxic substances in segregated areas or isolated production areas. Next, sanitation in the manufacturing premises. The manufacturing premises shall be clean and maintained in an orderly manner so that it is free from accumulated waste, dust, debris, and other similar material. A validated clinical procedure shall be maintained. The manufacturing area shall not be used for storage of materials except for the material being processed. It shall not be used as a general thoroughfare. A routine sanitation program shall be drawn up and observed, which shall be properly recorded and which shall indicate specific areas to be cleaned and cleaning intervals. Then cleaning procedure to be followed, including equipment and materials to be used for cleaning. Then personnel assigned to and responsible for the cleaning operations. Production area shall be well lit, particularly where visual online controls are carried out. Next, the raw materials. The licensee shall keep an inventory of all raw materials to be used at any stage of manufacture of drugs and maintain records as per the Schedule U. All incoming material shall be purchased from approved sources under valid purchase vouchers. Wherever possible, raw materials should be purchased directly from the producers. Next is the equipment. Equipment shall be located, designed, constructed, adapted and maintained to suit the operations to be carried out. Balances and other measuring equipment of an appropriate range, accuracy and precision shall be available in the raw material stores, production and in-process control operations, and this shall be calibrated and checked on a scheduled basis in accordance with SOPs, and records should be maintained. Next, that is documentation and records. Documentation is an essential part of the quality assurance and quality control system, such shall be related to all aspects of GMP. The main aim is to define the specifications for all materials, methods, and manufacturing methods and control to ensure that all personnel concerned with the manufacture know the information necessary to decide whether to release a batch of drug for sale and to provide an audit trial that shall permit investigation of the history of any suspected defective batch. The document designed, prepared, reviewed, and controlled wherever applicable shall comply with these rules. Then document shall be approved, signed, and dated by appropriate and authorized persons. Documents shall have specified the title, nature, and purpose. They shall be laid out in an orderly fashion and be easy to check. Next, labels and other printed materials. Labels are absolutely necessary for identification of the drugs and their use. The printing shall be done in bright colors and in a legible manner. The label shall carry all the prescribed details about the product. The next QA, that is quality assurance. This is a wide-ranging concept concerning all matters that individually or collectively influence the quality of product. Quality assurance gives the assurance of the quality or of the product. It is the totality of the arrangement made with the object of ensuring that products are of the quality required for their intended use. The next is the self-inspection and quality audit. Written instructions for self-inspection shall be drawn up, which shall include the following. First, personnel, then premises including personal facilities, then maintenance of buildings and equipments, then storage of starting materials and finished products, then equipments, production and in-process controls, quality control, then documentation, sanitation and hygiene, validation and revalidation programs. If validation fails, then we have to do the revalidation. Then calibration of instruments or measurement systems. Then recall procedures, complaints management, labels control, results of previous self-inspections and any corrective steps. Next, specifications. For raw materials and packaging materials, they shall include the designated name and internal code reference, if any, to a pharmacopoeia monograph, qualitative and quantitative requirements with acceptance limits, name and address of manufacturer or supplier and original manufacturer of the material, specimen of printed material, directions for sampling and testing or reference to procedures, storage conditions, and maximum period of storage for retesting. For product containers and closures, all containers and closures intended for use shall comply with the pharmacopoeia requirements. Next, Master Formula Record, MFR. There shall be master formula records relating to all manufacturing procedure for each product and batch size to be manufactured. The master formula shall include first the name of the product together with the product reference code relating to its specifications. Then patent name of the product along with the generic name, a description of the dosage form, strength, composition of the product and batch size. Then name, quantity and reference number of all the starting materials to be used. Mention shall be made of any substance that may disappear in the course of process. Then a statement of expected final yield with the acceptable limits. Then a statement of the processing location and the principal equipment to be used. Then the methods or reference to the methods to be used for preparing the critical equipments, including cleaning, assembling, and calibrating with sterilizing. Then detailed stepwise processing instructions and the time taken for each step. Next, the instruction for in-process control with their limits. Next, any special precautions to be observed. Packing details and specimen labels. Next, Schedule N. List of minimum equipment for the efficient running pharmacy. For Schedule N, you have to remember equipment. That is, list of minimum equipment for the efficient running of a pharmacy. N, the running of pharmacy. List of minimum equipment for the efficient running of a pharmacy. First one is the entrance. The front of a pharmacy shall bear an inscription, pharmacy in front. Then premises. The premises of pharmacy shall be separated from rooms for private use. Then premises shall be well built, dry, well lit and ventilated and of sufficient dimensions to allow the goods in stock, especially medicaments and poisons, to be kept in a clearly visible and appropriate manner. The areas of the section to be used as a dispensing department shall be not less than 6 square meters for one pharmacist working therein, with additional 2 square meters for each additional pharmacist. The height of premises shall be at least 2.5 meters. Then the floor of the pharmacy shall be smooth and washable. The walls shall be plastered or tiled or oil painted so as to maintain smooth, durable and washable surface devoid of holes, cracks and devices. A pharmacy shall be provided with ample supply of good quality water. Next, the dispensing department shall be separated. Dispensing department shall be separated by a barrier to prevent the admission of the public. Then furniture and apparatus. The furniture and apparatus of pharmacy shall be adapted to the uses for which they are intended and correspond to the size and requirements of the establishment. A pharmacy shall be provided with a dispensing bench, the top of which shall be covered with washable and pervious material like stainless steel, laminated or plastics. Apparatus: balance, beakers, funnels, mortar and pestles, thermometer, water bath, then pipettes. Next, the books: the Indian Pharmacopoeia, National Formulary, DNC Act 1940 and its rules. There are so many apparatus, but I have kept it this 6 to 7 apparatus only. The Pharmacy Act 1948, the Dangerous Act 1930, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. General provisions: a pharmacy shall be conducted under the continuous personal supervision of a registered pharmacist whose name shall be displayed conspicuously in the premises. All records and registers shall be maintained in accordance with the laws in force. Medicaments, when supplied, shall have labels conforming to the provisions of laws in force. Next, the Schedule P. In Schedule P, you have to remember P for periods. Schedule P, P for periods, that is life period of drugs, means expiry of drugs. These are some examples: and name of the drug, period between the date of manufacture and date of expiry, condition of storage. For ampicillin, period between the date of manufacture and date of expiry, that is 36 months. These all are in months. For ampicillin, 36 months. Condition of storage in a cool place. Likewise, for frozen plasma, 60 months. Condition of storage in deep freeze. For insulin injection, 24 months. At temperature between 2 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees Celsius. Must not be allowed to freeze. Next, Schedule T. Schedule T is the good GMP practices, good manufacturing practices for Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani medicines. To remember Schedule T, T means traditionals. So, it is good manufacturing practices for Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani medicines. The good manufacturing practices are prescribed as follows to ensure that raw materials used in the manufacture of drugs are authentic, of prescribed quality and are free from contamination. Their manufacturing processes is as has been prescribed to maintain the standard. Adequate quality control measures are adopted. The manufactured drug which is released for sale is of acceptable quality. To achieve the objectives listed above, each licensee shall evolve the methodology and procedure for following the prescribed process of manufacture of drugs. Next, Schedule U. Schedule U is the particulars to be shown in various records of manufacturing of drug. Substances other than parenteral preparations. It includes the serial number, name of the products, reference of MFR, that is master formula record, lot or batch size, lot or batch number, date of commencement of manufacture and date of completion of manufacture, and assigned date of expiry. Then name of all ingredients, specifications, quantities required for the lot or batch size and quantities actually used. Then control numbers of raw materials used in the formulation, date, time and duration of mixing, details of environmental controls like room temperature, relative humidity, then date of granulation, then theoretical weight and actual weight of granules, a record of in-process controls, that is uniformity of mixing, moisture content, pH of solution, weight variation, disintegration time, hardness, friability test, leak test, field volume of liquids, quantity of tablets or capsules, then content of ointment in the field containers. B, that is parenteral preparations. It includes the serial number, name of the product, reference of MFR, batch or lot size, batch number or lot number, date of commencement of manufacture, then name of all ingredients, specifications, then control numbers of raw materials, date, time and duration of mixing, then details of environmental controls like temperature, humidity, microbial count in the sterile working areas, pH of the solution wherever applicable, then date and method of filtration, sterility test, then record of check on volume field, date of filling, records of test employed, that is to ensure that sealed ampoules are leak proof, to check the presence of foreign particles, pyrogen test wherever applicable, or toxicity test. Then records of checking of instruments and apparatus of sterilization. Then record of cleaning and sterilization of containers and closures. Then records of sterilization in case of parenteral preparation, which are heat sterilized, including particulars of time, temperature and pressure employed. Such records should be marked to relate to the batch sterilized. The next is the Schedule V, that is standards for patent or proprietary medicines. The standards for patent or proprietary medicines containing vitamins, patent containing vitamins for prophylactic, therapeutic or pediatric use shall contain the vitamins in quantities not less than and not more than those specified. Then next, subject to the provisions of these rules, patent medicines shall comply with the following standards. Namely, first, it shall comply with the general requirements of the dosage form under which it falls as given in the IP, that is Indian Pharmacopoeia. If the dosage form is not included in the IP, but it is included in any other pharmacopoeia prescribed for the purpose of the second schedule to the Act, it shall comply with the general requirements of the dosage form of such pharmacopoeia. Without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing requirements, general requirements shall include compliance with color consistency, clarity, stability, freedom from contamination with foreign matter or fungal growth, defects like chipping, capping of tablets, cracking of the coating, mottled appearance, and other characteristics defects that can be perceived by visual inspection. Second, without prejudice to the generality of the following eras, dosage forms of the patent shall comply with the following requirements. First, tablets. For tablets, medicine shall comply with the requirements for tablets as laid down in the IP. For capsule, capsule shall be free from the distortion or shape, discoloration, or other physical defects like leakage of powder from joints, pinholes, or cracks in the capsule. For liquid oral dosage form, the volume of the product in the container shall be not less than the labeled volume. For injections, it should be complied with the IP requirements. ointments also it should be complied with the Indian pharmacopoeia. Next, Schedule X. In Schedule X, you have to remember habit forming. It is the list of the drugs which are habit forming and are likely to be misused for the addictive purposes. These are some examples like amphetamine, meprobamate, barbital, phenometrazine. Then next, Schedule Y. In Schedule Y, you just remember clinical trials. Requirements and guidelines for the permission to import or manufacture of new drugs for sale or to undertake the clinical trials. You just remember clinical trials. Data to be submitted along with the application to conduct clinical trials or import or manufacture of new drugs for marketing in the country. Introduction, it included the brief description of the drug and therapeutic class to which it belongs. Second, chemical and pharmaceutical information. The information on active ingredients, drug information, that is generic name, chemical name. Then physicochemical data, that is chemical name and structure, empirical formula, molecular weight. Physical properties includes description, solubility, rotation, partition coefficient, association constant. Then in analytical data, element analysis, mass spectrum, NMR spectra, IR spectra, UV spectra, polymorphic identification. In complete monograph and specification, it includes identification, identity or quantification of impurities, enantiomeric purity, assay. In validations, it includes assay method, impurity estimation method, then residual solvent or other volatile impurities. Then stability studies includes final release specification, reference standard characterization, material safety data sheet. Next, data on formulation, that is dosage form, its composition, master manufacturing formula, details of formulation including its ingredients, in process quality control check, finished product specification, excipient compatibility study, validation of the analytical method, comparative evaluation with international brands, then pack presentation, dissolution, assay, impurities, content uniformity, pH, forced degradation study, stability evaluation in market internet pack at proposed storage conditions, packing specification, and process validation. Next, the animal pharmacology, it includes the summary, the specific pharmacological actions, general pharmacological actions, follow-up and supplemental safety pharmacology studies, pharmacokinetics, which includes ADME, that is A for absorption, D for distribution, M for metabolism, and E for excretion. Fourth, animal toxicology. It includes general aspects, systemic toxicity studies, male fertility study, female reproduction and developmental toxicity study, local toxicity, then genotoxicity, carcinogenicity, human or clinical pharmacology, that is phase 1. It includes summary, specific pharmacological effect, general pharmacological effects, then pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, therapeutic exploratory trial, that is phase 2. It includes summary, then study reports as given in appendix 2, then therapeutic confirmatory trial, that is phase 3, then special studies. It includes bioavailability or bioequivalence. Then regulatory status in other countries. Countries where the drug is marketed, approved or approved as a IND. IND means investigational new drug. Then withdrawn or if any with reasons. Then restrictions, free sale certificate, then prescribing information, then sample and testing protocols, then new chemical entity and global clinical trial. Then next is the Schedule F, that is requirements for the functioning and operation of a blood bank and or blood bank and for preparation of blood components. In Schedule F, you have to remember just blood bank. In general, the location and surroundings, the blood bank shall be located at a place which shall be away from open sewage, drain, public lavatory, or similar unhygienic surroundings. Then buildings, the health, clothing and sanitation of staff. The employee shall be free from contagious or infectious diseases. Then accommodation for a blood bank. A blood bank shall have an area of 100 square meters for its operations and an additional area of 50 square meters for preparation of blood components. It shall be consisting of a room each, that is each for that is registration and medical examination, blood collection. It should be air conditioned, then blood component preparation, then laboratory for blood group serology, laboratory for blood transmissible diseases like hepatitis, herpes, malaria, HIV antibodies, then sterilization come washing, refreshment come restrooms should be air conditioned, then store come records. C. It is personnel. Every blood bank shall have following categories of full-time competent technical staff. First, medical officer. Second, blood bank technician. Blood bank technician should have degree in medical laboratory technology with 6 months experience. Then diploma in MLT with 1 year experience. Third, registered nurse. Fourth, technical supervisor should have degree in MLT with 6 months experience in the preparation of blood components, or diploma in MLT with 1 year experience in the preparation of blood components. Then next, maintenance. The premises shall be maintained in a clean and proper manner to ensure adequate cleaning and maintenance of proper operations. Then equipments and supplies and reagents. Next, the sale of drugs. Drugs sale is defined as the seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property in goods to the buyer for a price. Wholesale means a dealer or an agent or stock list appointed by the manufacturer for the sale of drugs to a retailer. And dealer means a dealer carrying on the retail businesses of sale of drugs of customers. For the sale of drugs, a license is required. For issuing the sale license, the drugs are divided into following categories. First, the drugs other than those specified in Schedule C, C1 and X. Second, the drugs specified in Schedule C and C1 but excluding X. And third, the drugs specified in Schedule X. Next, the conditions of license for retail sale of drugs. These are the conditions. The license premises are adequate and equipped with the facilities of proper storage of drugs. The pharmacy shall comply with the requirements of Schedule N. This license must be displayed in prominent place. All the compounding and dispensing of drugs shall be made under the direct supervision of qualified person. The supply of drugs other than Schedule X drugs on a prescription shall be recorded in register or credit memo book. Then next, wholesale of drugs. The conditions: the area of proposed premises shall not be less than 10 square meter. The premises would have adequate facility for the storage of drugs. License shall be displayed in prominent place. Then restricted license. The restricted license are issued for the retail of sale of drugs to dealers or persons in respect of drugs whose sale does not require the supervision of qualified person. Then vendors in exceptional cases for bona fide traveling agents of firms dealing in drugs. The vendor who purchases drugs from a licensed dealer for distribution in populated areas where other channels of distribution of drugs are not available. These are the offices for manufacturing, sale, distribution, Stocking of any adulterated or spurious drugs or drugs not of standard quality. For first conviction, the 5 years of imprisonment and 10,000 fine. Then subsequent conviction, 10 years of imprisonment and 20,000 fine, or both. Likewise. Then labeling and packaging of drugs. General labeling requirements. Labeling of drugs manufactured for sale, that is proper name of the drug, or for official product, the name specified in the pharmacopoeia. For example, analgin tablets IP. For a new drug containing a single active ingredient or a preparation containing single active ingredients specified in Schedule W. Example, ferrous sulfate tablets. For the net content, weight in grams, volume in ml, unit in numbers. Next, the batch number or lot number, date of expiry, physician's sample, not to be sold for the pre-sample, to distribute to the medical professionals. Then next, list of permitted colors. Natural colors, then artificial colors, this caramel, riboflavin. Coal tar colors, the common coal tar colors are green, yellow, red, blue, orange, brown, and black. Lakes, the aluminum or calcium salts, lakes are used. Thank you.